Hello and gracias. As always, it's going to be a ramble, rant, longer form, not organized. There's your disclaimer, notification to leave if you don't want to pay attention to periods of silence or musing. With that out of the way, gracias. Why do I emphasize so much on faceless creators who do not show their faces, bodies, and lives? Why? Character can be defined as who you are when no one is looking or watching. A lot of people put on an act, a persona, a facade for their audience. I do not. Even when it is ugly, dark, or less than love and light and appealing, I speak my mind and heart truthfully. Why is this important? As a shaman, it is my job, one of my jobs and roles, to help facilitate and guide people through their hurt, disease, suffering, pain, etc. If I was free of scars, sins, disease, all that experience, would I be equipped or wise enough or experienced to do so for other people? No. Which goes back to the saying by Terence McKenna, the shaman is not a madman or a sick man, but a sick man and a madman who has cured himself and who must continue to shamanize in order to remain cured. And I really love that "in order to" part of the quote. It reminds me of the Marine Corps when we write a 5-paragraph order or a frago, a mission statement, to understand the commander's intent. So even if we forget the rest of the mission in terms of the details of logistics, admin, communication, as long as we know the commander's intent for the mission, we are still able to carry it out. So part of my intent in highlighting those that are faceless and do not show themselves is that people are able to see what is true and what is not, and know who is who in the zoo. A big issue with the world nowadays, especially with medicine, is that people are taking drugs, pharmaceuticals, vaccines from people and corporations who do not use their own products. They don't stand by them, they don't even use them. Because they know in their heart of hearts that it's poison or it's not good. There's so many supplements out there that are watered down with, it says it has turmeric or garlic or ginger, but if you look inside, the details, it's not even an efficacious dose. I think if most people saw the creators with whom they're using their fields or subliminals, they would think twice before listening to them. Double entendre and pun intended. This is also why a lot of my competitors use a lot of documents and salesmanship pitches in order to sweeten the deal, which I do not do. I simply list the ingredients of the fields. This is noble. I'm not trying to persuade anyone to use any of my products or services through some sort of salesmanship pitch or some sort of persuasion. I was just talking to my left-hand man, thank you, brother, earlier about this. He was telling me, if you wrote more explanations or docs about your products, you'd probably gain more traction. I am not going to do this. I'm not going to lower myself and denigrate myself to a lower standard, even if it means it takes longer to get up the mountain. The path is more narrow because the calling is higher. Again, it's been a little over a year now of making fields. And people have seen and experienced very real results from my fields. And I did not program their subconscious in any way by telling them what mechanism of action or how the results will manifest or any of that other wordplay or spell casting. I simply list the ingredients. Because again, there's more than one way to skin a cat. One person can listen to an audio that has the energies of onyx. And I used this example many times before, but I'll continue to use it. And they could have a positive experience. And another person, a Gemini, might get depressed from it. So if I go ahead and say, this audio is going to make you grounded and happier and more calm, but then it doesn't for the people that fall into a certain demographic, that's false advertising. That's a lie. I made a symbiote for my brother, love you, man, a couple weeks ago, and I put trenbolone inside of his symbiote. It gave him anxiety. So if I had listed, despite there being ashwagandha in it, if I had told him, oh, this is going to make you more calm, focused, etc., that would have been a lie. Would it not? It would have. There's so many variables, I cannot possibly account for all of them for each individual human being. Which again, this is why, for those who are committed to themselves and the process, custom symbiotes I offer are the best tool because it is tailored for and to you, the end user, no one else. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. The more I shine light on the darkness and falsehoods of others, the more hate and heat I receive. Why is that? To quote Marcus Aurelius, author of Meditations, if you wish to offend a strong man, tell him lies. If you wish to offend a weak man, tell him the truth. People who are operating in a nefarious, deceptive way do not like it when I expose them for who and what they are and doing. no one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. And I'm not going to stop. And shifting gears even more, the more I am solidified in being that, the more lonely it gets, the more isolated I become from my family, from the people around me, from humanity, which is very bittersweet because I know my mission, I know my objective, I know my purpose, I know the general outline of the path that God has set before me. These energy tools truly do have the potential to change the entire world. I think everyone can see and know from personal experience the power of music, even if it's not a field. Not a field in the conscious sense, morphic wise, but still, everything is a field. So, bringing pure, clean medicine is of the utmost importance. And eventually spreading that, to places in the world that need it the most. Like, imagine a speaker with a solar panel in a town in Africa that is playing fields to bring more rainfall and to encourage the growth of crops. To nullify HIV, fields playing in hospitals for cancer, for parasites. Fields playing in high crime areas for peace. But in order for me to be taken seriously, again, I need to develop resources and reputation. So for those of you who are supporting me and my work, thank you. Truly, thank you. I would rather be hated and despised by, well, quite frankly, everyone, and close and right with God than anything else. So I will continue on my path. That is all. Gracias.